Hey, what's up? It's Emily from Make Tech Work For You. This was going to be a tech talk in the crib, and then I ran out of time. And so now it's a tech talk in the car, slash tech talk at my kids' camp pickup. So today with a client, we were talking about how to set up their office space technologically to make the most of these new hybrid meetings, because we're going to have people working from home, we're going to have people in the office. And when we got down to it, it was really interesting because at the beginning of our call, the client told me a story about how she was in person recently with a staff member and kind of rolled over and was able to talk something out. They worked on it and got to a solution, like a really great positive in-person experience. And when we're talking about setting up the office, a member of the team was saying how awkward it felt for him to be the person working from home and one of the videos being a conference room of people. And we had this before the pandemic, seeing a conference room of people from one of those big TV screens with a camera in a conference room, and how that felt a little awkward and not really like you were part of the meeting as much as it's felt over the last month, couple, like year, plus of having these Zoom group team meetings. So in that, we were also talking about how my client was going to ask staff members to come in specifically to the office on Tuesdays because that's when their staff meeting was, their team staff meeting. And in that conversation, we thought, it's not really about the setup of the camera, of who's in there and the screen you're looking at, whether it's a laptop or a conference table from one viewpoint in the room, that those things might have impact on your meetings, but it's the mindsets that we have going into this now of the why we're using technology at all that can really impact how we handle hybrid meetings. So I said, why are we asking people to come in for in-person meetings when we know some of those folks are still going to be remote for the staff meeting on Tuesdays? So we know we're going to have this challenge of people not in the room, not in the room, and some people calling into a room full of people, which whether you have the video or not, it feels kind of awkward. You feel a little bit left out. Like, I don't think we've fully gotten over that. I don't know if we ever fully will. And we rethought maybe we should consider asking people to stay home on those staff meeting days, because then you can have that same Zoom, everyone's on Zoom feeling that we've had in the pandemic. Like, no one feels left out of the room because of the way we're working. And that was really impactful for me, thinking through when are we going to ask people to come in and what role does technology play in this? And if we've learned from technology that it actually kind of feels better if you're having a team meeting, if it's all virtual as opposed to some people in the room and other people not, and rethinking how we work and ask people to work with that in mind. So tech has done us a favor maybe for our staff meetings and saying, actually, everyone can work remote. And then if we know we're going to have some hybrid, some remote, some in person, we're not going to engineer our staff meetings to accentuate that fact, and knowing that there's some awkwardness for the people who are calling in. So we're going to actually plan our work around this. Technology has shown us we can have staff meetings while we're all remote. And then we're going to ask people to come in at those times when we can have the water cooler moments or the kitchen moments, days together. It doesn't have to be the staff meeting day, but managing some days in person together that could set the stage for those one-on-one interactions like my client described that was impactful. So if we're getting down to check how technology is supporting our work and how we leverage technology to support our work, it might be those team meetings we don't have to have in person. That's where we put our technology, and actually asking people to come in at times when it's not a big group plan, that those big group things, if there's going to be remote people, then it's better to have everyone remote and just do the one-on-one, interactions when we can, and try to encourage the use of digital tools to have those one-on-one interactions virtually also as much as we can, to include the people working remotely, and for when the times when people who can be in person are in person. All right, that's my tech talk from the car today. So rethinking, I would love to know Are you asking people in your organization to come in for big team meetings thinking those are the things you want to do in person? Or are you keeping those virtual and having more people in the office in a time and space when more organic interactions can happen, not set within the box of a team meeting? So I'm really interested to hear how you're managing those kind of in-person and hybrid virtual meetings and when you're asking people to come in.